Making the contributory pension scheme a must or compulsory for workers in the state is the right step in the right direction. Today, workers in the state can contribute into a retirement savings account, making it possible for them to receive their pension benefits as at when due when they retire. Hello and welcome to Pension Matters, the pension awareness program where we talk pension. My name is Princess Rabi Ibrahim and I'm so glad to have you join us today. On today's episode of the program, we'll continue the series we'll be running on the implementation of the contributory pension scheme in the state. For details of this and more, stay with us as the program will continue shortly.
Do you know there is a new pension scheme in Nigeria? It is mandatory, it is contributory, it is fully funded, based on individual retirement savings account. Under the supervision of the National Pensions Commission, the new pension scheme guarantees lifelong financial independence for every citizen of Nigeria in public or private employment. PENCOM says it's a new dawn. Call the National Pensions Commission now or log on to www.pencom.gov.ng for further details. PENCOM, your contribution counts.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, the program is Pension Matters, and it's now time to find out what is trailing in the pension industry with Adanze Okorocha. Ada, over to you.
Thank you very much, Princess. Hello viewers, welcome to Pension Trail. This is where we'll give you the latest updates and happenings in the pension industry. My name is Adanze Okorocha. First, PENCOM urges federal government to settle 2015 accrued rights. Speaking at a media briefing in Lagos, the Director General of the National Pension Commission, Mrs. Chinelo Anoho-Amozu, says PENCOM is working with the Budget Office to ensure that all retirees from the fourth quarter of the year 2015 to date get all their entitlements. Mrs. Chinelo says, although only 50 billion naira has been approved in the current budget, the Commission will make sure that all individuals who have retired from the fourth quarter of 2015 and those getting ready to retire in 2016 get all their accrued rights. The Chairman Pension Fund Operators Association of Nigeria, Mr. E. Longe, says that the regulatory body PENCOM and operators are working tirelessly to make sure that all challenges on accrued rights are resolved as soon as possible. Secondly, Stanbic IBTC Pension holds pre-retirement sessions. The Chief Executive Officer of Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers Limited, Mr. Eric Fazemisi, has declared that this year's interactive session with retirees for 2016 is tagged "Life Continues at Retirement, Retire Well." The yearly event is slated to hold from now till September and will be a nationwide exercise. He stressed that the session will be aimed at people that are approaching retirement age. This platform also will provide a clear view of a comfortable retirement. He added that the ultimate goal of the program is to highlight the benefits of the contributory pension scheme to all retirees in Nigeria. And lastly, pension for Nigerians. The National Pension Commission is set to embark on a nationwide enlightenment campaign for all classes of self-employed individuals in the nation. PENCOM says it's fine-tuning the guidelines on the micro-pension scheme, which is the tool PENCOM intends to use to achieve this. The Commission disclosed that Okada and Keke riders, akara sellers, food vendors, commercial vehicle operators, and all self-employed individuals will benefit from this scheme. The National Pension Commission added that it will unveil the blueprint of the micro-pension scheme and work hard to make sure every Nigerian is pensionable. Well, viewers, this is the much you can take on Pension Thread today. Let's get back to Princess.
Thank you, Adanze, for telling us what is trailing in the pension industry this week. Viewers, if you're just joining us, the program is Pension Matters, and it's time for our up-close segment. We are continuing this series. We started with Mrs. Grace Usoro on the participation or implementation of the contributory pension scheme by state governments. Madam Mia, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
By the way, Mrs. Grace Usoro is the head of department of the State Pensions Department at the National Pension Commission. Madam, we'll be having this series with you on the implementation of the contributory pension scheme, that is the CPS, by the state government, and you've been able to take us through some guidelines that the state must follow to make sure they implement this. Now, I want to find out how many states have been able to go through the process of implementing this contributory pension scheme in Nigeria.
The states that have actually implemented the contributory pension scheme, it's difficult to tell you X number of states have, because the process of implementation involves a whole lot of things. But I would like to say that about 12 states for now have actually enacted their laws and have started contributions.
Great, that is quite special already.
Yes, but for us as regulators, you see, when you have a child, you want to see the child pass exams, go to school, pass exams, settle down, and is doing very well. So for us as regulators, we are nurturing the pension scheme, particularly for the states. We want to see a situation where they don't just only stop as commencing contributions. They have to nurture the contributory pension scheme to maturity so that when their employees retire, they can earn their pensions. So if I'm to address your questions, about 12 states have actually started contributing. Well, the other states, about 11 states have enacted their laws, and they are at various stages of commencing. Some have started registering and have not started contributing.
Let me come in here.
Yes.
When you said commencement of the implementation of the implementing the contributory pension scheme, are you now telling me that 12 states can now allow their workers to register with pension fund administrator of their choice?
Yes, 12 states.
That started.
12 states have registered fully, and they have started contributing to the retirement savings account of their employees.
Wonderful.
Yes, but about another 11 states have enacted their laws, and they are still making arrangements either to set up their state pension bureau, to start registering their employees with pension fund administrators. Now, we have another about 3 states that actually enacted their laws, but their laws are fundamentally different from the Pension Reform Act 2014. And, you know, where the basic framework, philosophy, and structure of the contributory pension scheme is not upheld in any state law, is as good as not passing a law.
I agree with
so
you.
for those 3 states, we would want to see a situation where we can work with them to adopt the draft state law that we have crafted to guide the states. Now, there are about another 11 states that have their pension bills. We have reviewed some. We are yet to receive those bills from some, and those bills are before the state houses of assembly for enactment. So in a nutshell, that's the distribution of how the states are faring with regards to adopting the contributory pension
Very
scheme.
impressive.
Yes.
I'm highly impressed, because from this, figure you're giving us now, which means one state or the other and also at one stage or the other in implementing the contributory pension scheme all over the country.
Yes, absolutely.
Good job by
Yes.
the National Pension Commission.
Yes.
So now, the process is that the State House of Assembly must enact this bill to enable the state to start the process of making sure that their workers can start registering with the pension fund administrator of their choice.
Absolutely. You know, like I said in my first discussion
Interview
with you,
yes.
The first or the starting point is to enact a law.
Okay.
And we at the National Pension Commission have tried to make it as easy as possible for the states. We have designed the basic structure of any state law. So all the state needs to do is to pick that draft law and put in the gaps, put in the name of the state, and make minor amendments and adopt it. So immediately the state law is enacted, then the state is ready to start registering and go through all the other process of adopting the contributory pension scheme.
From your experience, do you find some state House of Assemblies, do you witness some kind of resistance from some state House of Assemblies?
So of course it's natural where people do not have full understanding of an issue. There will be some reluctance or resistance. Where people's minds are polluted because of some vested interest, such resistance is bound to occur. But again, we are taking that in our strides, because where those challenges exist, we see it as an opportunity for us to go in and engage the members of the state houses of assembly to enlighten them better in the, on the prospects that the contributory pension scheme holds for each state. So even though those resistance might exist, we know that it is actually born out of inadequate information.
But I will take a short break now, then to come back for you to throw more light on the sanctions any state government that is not participating or implementing the CPS we face. Viewers, the program is Pension Matters, and we are still talking about how state governments can implement the contributory pension scheme. And I'm doing that with Mrs. Grace Usoro of National Pension Commission. We'll take a short break now to be back so that Mrs. Grace Usoro will throw more light. Don't go away.
Do you know there is a new pension scheme in Nigeria? It is mandatory, it is contributory, it is fully funded, based on individual retirement savings account. Under the supervision of the National Pensions Commission, the new pension scheme guarantees lifelong financial independence for every citizen of Nigeria in public or private employment. PENCOM says it's a new dawn. Call the National Pensions Commission now or log on to www.pencom.gov.ng for further details. PENCOM, your contribution counts.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, the program is Pension Matters on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA. Madam, before the break, I was going to ask you, can you tell us the states that have adopted this contributory pension scheme in Nigeria? Just a few of them, if you can remember.
There are a number of states that have adopted the contributory pension scheme. Lagos State is one of the flagship states, I would want to say. Yes, because they have done exceptionally well. Lagos State enacted its law in 2007, and it has gone even beyond implementing the minimum structures which the National Pension Commission has recommended. For instance, Lagos State adopted a state-of-the-art IT system that enables it remit contributions simultaneously as salaries are being paid in the state.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what it's supposed
and
to
that
be.
makes it very efficient.
And easy.
Indeed, the governor at that time was very determined and committed to the process of adopting the contributory pension scheme. And to date, they have over 67 employees registered under the 67,000
employees
registered under the contributory pension scheme. They have contributed more than 2 billion naira in contributions. They have issued bonds, which they have redeemed several tranches. And a lot of their employees have retired under
the new scheme.
Under the new scheme, there is no pension that is owed. So Lagos State really is a flagship state, which a lot of the states should seek to copy. Well, there are other states, like Jigawa State actually has, though it's running a variant of the contributory pension scheme, but it has been contributing, and its retirees are receiving pension as and when due.
But the way it's a variant, can you explain further? You know, the old scheme was the defined benefit scheme.
Yes.
So when you said a variant from the defined benefit scheme, what exactly do you mean by that?
Okay. The scheme that Jigawa State, for instance, adopts is called the Contributory Defined Benefit Scheme.
Okay.
That means that there is contributions into a pool of funds.
Both the employer and the employee?
Yes.
Oh, good.
But the benefits are drawn based on the defined benefits arrangement.
I get it.
Yes. However, there is a risk, I must say, because we do not encourage the states to want to adopt this because there is still that financial risk. What if the pool of funds is inadequate to meet up with the pension liabilities?
Or if not properly managed.
Or if not properly managed. Although for Jigawa State, the pension fund administrators administrate the fund.
Oh,
they
really?
administer the fund.
Oh, great.
Yes, but still that funding challenge is still there. The contributory pension scheme seeks to emphasize full cash backing. It should be fully funded. And the ideal pension scheme, which we advocate for the states to adopt, is a fully funded scheme, which is the contributory pension scheme. Yes.
Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. And you mentioned something about Jigawa doing something close to the contributory pension scheme.
Yes.
What effort is the commission making to make sure that they depart from that old system completely and adopt the contributory pension scheme full swing?
Yeah, well, for us as a strategy at the commission, we are focused for now is to ensure that the contributory pension scheme is evenly adopted all over the country. That is the first step. Then we need to now go to the next step of tweaking and fine-tuning the systems. Yes, definitely we will still come back to Jigawa State.
Okay.
In the interest of the employees. Yes, even though their scheme is working now, but we are looking at the future because we want to be able to bequeath a legacy to the people of Jigawa State. So we'll still have to come back, even though we're not addressing it currently, but it is one of the things we will need to address to work with the state government and ensure that a more sustainable pension arrangement is adopted.
Not too long ago, Mrs. Usoro, I saw on TV that you, the National Pension Commission, were in Kaduna.
Yes.
I mean, so have they been able to adopt the contributory pension scheme?
Oh, excellent. Yes, they have amended their law.
Oh, really?
They are currently in the process of establishing a state pension bureau. They are doing it to the letter, to the book, according to the way that the National Pension Commission has prescribed. And that is why I said that Kaduna State is one of the upcoming states that one has to look out for, because there are a lot of things which they are doing right. Even in enacting their law, they consulted severally with the National Pension Commission to make sure that all the necessary features of the contributory pension scheme are included in their law. So I believe the state governor is really interested in establishing a legacy for the states.
That's very okay.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Madam, quickly, before we leave the studio today,
Yes.
I want to know, is there a kind of sanction for any state that refuses to implement the contributory pension scheme in Nigeria after the amended Pension Act of 2014?
Yeah.
Briefly.
Well, it's difficult when you're talking of government establishments.
Okay.
It's very difficult to talk about sanctions because a lot of times sanctions have a negative connotation. But I would rather want to talk about incentives. There are incentives which we have figured out that might be necessary to adopt.
Okay.
For instance, something like a scorecard. Is something we're going to come up with, where we rank all the state governments according to the various milestones of implementing the contributory pension scheme. Right from the establishment of the law, the establishment of their state pension bureau, registration, remittance, etc.
That would be very interesting, yes. Because I'm going to bring you back here, because that scorecard, we must have it.
Yes.
It will even kind of incite or encourage some other states that have not been making
absolutely
reasonable amount of move to join the contributory pension scheme?
Absolutely, and we would even go up to the extent of posting it on our website when it is out, and also publishing it probably on a quarterly basis in the national dailies. Yes, that way it would incentivize the states to strive to do more.
Thank you very much, Madam, for coming on the program today. It's always a delight to have you on this program, because when you speak, you educate me, enlighten me, just like you're doing to the viewers. It's my pleasure having you.
You're most welcome.
Viewers, the program has been Pension Matters, and I've been discussing with Mrs. Grace Usoro, the head of State Pension Department of the National Pension Commission. For the past 3 weeks now, she's been throwing more light on the participation of state government in the contributory pension scheme, the guideline and the sanctions and the encouragement, and her experience from the states she has visited. If you're just joining us, the program is Pension Matters, and it's time now for us to join Patrick to give us pension education.
Thank you very much, Princess. Hello, viewers. Welcome to this week's pension education segment. My name is Igbo Patrick. Last week, we have been taking a look at the various team players within the pension contributory scheme. We actually talked about the employee, the employer, we talked about the National Pension Commission, and also the pension fund administrators and pension fund custodians. We are focused on who the employee is and what is expected of them. We also talked about the roles of the employers and what is expected of every employer within the pension industry. Today, we shall be taking a look at the third team player, the National Pension Commission. Section 17 of the Pension Reform Act 2014 says that there shall be established a National Pension Commission, to be known as the Commission under the section. This is what gives birth to the National Pension Commission, with an acronym as PENCOM, as it's commonly called within the industry. PENCOM actually was established to regulate, supervise, and also ensure that the activities within the contributory pension scheme is done in compliance with the Pension Reform Act of 2014, and also ensure that there is a plain level field for each of the team players that we have been mentioning. PENCOM was established to also direct the activities and also monitor what happens within the previous scheme known as the defined benefit scheme, or what we refer to as the old scheme. The National Pension Commission is actually made up of different departments, but we shall talk about the executives who have the directives to run the commission. It is made up of the Director General and 4 commissioners. The 4 commissioners are the Commissioner for Finance, the Commissioner for Administration, the Commissioner for Technical, and you also have the Commissioner who is in charge of the Inspectorate Unit. The Pension Commission is broad, so we will be looking at it in more dimensions as we speak about it more next week. Thank you very much. Bye for now.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick, for that pension education. I like the series you've been running since last week on the pension education segment. Viewers, on that note, we come to the end of our program for today. That's our package of pension matters for this week. We do hope you will tune in next week, same station, same time, for another exciting episode of the program. Until then, God bless you.